Okay, everyone, I'm going to play this song because this is not my song. It's from Pokemon Black and White, a motion theme remastered. So I really love this song because every time I heard it, it made me cry, and every time my mom heard it, she really loved it. So I'm gonna put this on. Oh crap. Okay, so the story I'm going to read today, I'm gonna put the volume down, is Goodbye Pikachu. Not the anime Goodbye Pikachu, like the CreepyPasta Goodbye Pikachu. Goodbye Pikachu, a Pokemon Yellow creepypasta. Recently, I'd grown interest in so-called Pokemon Nuzlocke challenges. I'd watched many Let's Plays and read many Nuzlocke comics, and I had really grown fond of those basic Nuzlocke rules. I thought said rules made the game more realistic, since fainted Pokemon are referred to as dead, and you can't disdain the Pokemon you want to be in your team. That sounds like a real challenge to me, and therefore I decided to play my old Pokemon Yellow, the only Generation 1 game I had, as a Nuzlocke challenge. Since I liked the original names, I called my character Red, and my dear Pikachu's name was Pika. And I must admit, I grew very fond of this little bunch of pixels. I trained Pika more than any other Pokemon in my team, and rather sacrificed other Pokemon than endanger my dear yellow friend. I really love this little guy, and the fact that he was always walking right behind me made me feel very comfortable. Even though I lost many virtual friends along the way, Pika was always there for me. I know it sounds weird, but I really couldn't imagine this game without my cute little electric mouse. And so I finally reached the Elite Four. I had lost many Pokemon along the way, but Pika was still there on my side, alive. And so I was standing there with my team, consisting of my Butterfree Sly, the Fearow Doom, Mask the Arcanine, my Kadabra Yurugur, can't say his name. Guess why I named it like that? The Kabutops called Samurai, and of course, Pika. All of them trained to at least level 60. So I would be able to beat the Elite Four without having too much trouble. And in fact, I lost only one Pokemon along the way. I had guessed it would be more, but I reached my rival Blue with only losing my Butterfree. I could deal with that. But that's when things got worse for me. When I tried to defeat Blue's last Pokemon, his evolved starter, Jolteon, my Pikachu fainted. Yeah, this was a Nuzlocke challenge, and therefore, Pika was dead. My beloved starter was dead. I defeated Blue nonetheless, but I was very sad about this loss. And since it was the rule, I had to release Pika. After the credits had played, I was back in Pallet Town. I used my Fearow to fly me over to Lavender Town, since I thought it was a nice idea to bury my friend in the graveyard town. So many people fear and honor at the same time. First of all, God dang it! Okay, sorry about that. My friend just texted me on Google Plus. Anyways, where am I? Okay, I finally got it. First of all, I stored my Butterfree in the box and I released it. Then I wanted to do the same thing with Pika. More forced than by choice. But when I put Pika in the PC box, it let out an angry or sad cry. I couldn't tell which emotion it was, since I hadn't heard anything other than Pika's happy cry for quite a long time. But that was in fact nothing abnormal. Pikachu was supposed to complain about being stored in the yellow version. Nevertheless, I tried to release Pika. I had another cry, and this time it was definitely an angry one. A text box popped up and said, "Pika is looking unhappy." Oh yeah! I remembered. You can't release your Pikachu in this game, since it was the special Pikachu version, of course. I sighed. Not only had I lost my precious friend, no Pika was even mad at me. Great. But since I couldn't change the fact, I left Pika in box 1 of Bill's storage system, and left the Pokemon Center. Yes, I left it all alone in the PC box, because they couldn't release it. I don't know, but I probably shouldn't have done that. This night, I didn't sleep very well. I had a weird dream. I was standing in an alleyway on the ship, the SSN, I guess. My in-game rival Blue was standing there, a few meters away from me. He looked angry, staring at me with hateful eyes. Then he ordered his Pokemon, a Rattata, to attack my Pokemon. It was Pika. Pika was standing right in front of me. It was the only Pokemon I had with me. The same applied for Blue and his Rattata. It was a one-on-one Pokemon battle. On the SSN, somehow, inside my head, the warning bells were ringing. I've read about this. Red killed Blue's Pokemon on the SSN, stuff in many CreepyPastas. But I didn't know if something like this happened in Yellow, too. It probably did, since Blue had said exactly the same things he had said in Red and Blue, if I'm not mistaken. The only difference was that Rattata hadn't evolved yet when you were fighting him on the ship in the Yellow version. So it was a Rattata which had died, not Eradicate. I hadn't realized this before, so why was I dreaming about this? And I suddenly heard Pika scream, and I noticed I was still in the battle with Blue. I raised my hand, but I couldn't see anything. Pika reacted nonetheless and attacked Blue's Rattata with Thunder Shock and Quick Attack. That was sufficient. Rattata fainted. Or at least, that was what should have happened. But I knew better. I knew pretty well what was happening now. Rattata was lying there on the ground, injured and bleeding. Blue's eyes filled with tears. He took his Rattata in his arms. He talked to him, shouting at him in despair. I didn't understand a word he said. It sounded like he was miles away. Red's rival abruptly raised his hand and glared at me. The tears were piling up in his eyes, and I could see hatred, fear, and agony, and many other emotions written all over his face. "You will get what you give, Red," he said. I was confused. Why did he call me Red? I turned around, and all of a sudden I was standing in an endless white room. It was empty, except of the mirrors that was standing right in front of me. I looked in the mirror, and the person I saw wasn't me, but Red. I was Red. But the person in the mirror looked sad. I looked sad. Sad and regretting and almost crying, but still. Then I woke up. The first thing I thought was, wow, that was weird. I had dreamt about something that must have been begging me in my subconscious. There wasn't any other explanation for that. It was just strange enough that I didn't dream about my dead Pikachu, but about the in-game rival I didn't give a crap about. And the second night, I had another dream. This time, I, or Red, who I was in this dream again. Walked through Lavender Town and straight into the Pokemon Tower. On the second floor, I encountered Blue, standing in front of the gravestone. As soon as I was standing just a few meters behind him, said a guy, turned around. I looked at him with dark, emotionless eyes. And looked at me with dark, emotionless eyes, sorry. I expected another battle with my rival, but he just said, an eye for an eye, a teeth for a teeth. I think it's supposed to say a tooth for a tooth. After that, I woke up, and I realized those dreams I had, they were about Blue wanting to revenge his dead Pokemon. He wanted to kill my precious friend, just like I killed his, didn't he? Well, since I played a Nuzlocke challenge, he had actually paid with like. He had his revenge. So why did he haunt me in my dreams? I must admit, I was actually kind of worried at this point of time. I turned on my game as soon as possible and checked if Pikachu was still in the box. And of course, yes, it was. I was teasing myself the whole day for being so stupid and superstitious. It was just a dream, and a dream doesn't affect a game, of course. I was just being silly. But those thoughts, I managed to repress my worries concerning those weird dreams. In fact, It worked for a couple of days. But just a few days, maybe a week later, I had another eerie dream. I was fighting Blue in the Pokemon League. Pika and Blue's Jolteon were facing each other. They were the last two Pokemon we had. That was weird, since I had 4 other Pokemon left with Pika. Had to deal with Jolteon back then, but heck! This was a dream! Jolteon lunged at Pika all of a sudden. I couldn't even react. It was like I was frozen or something. I could only watch as Pika got bitten on Blue's Pokemon. Just rather curious, since I'm pretty sure Jolteon didn't have the move Bite in this fight. My beloved Pokemon got 2 large wounds on its little body. One on its neck and one on its chest. Pika was bleeding. It was lying on the ground, bleeding to death. I couldn't move. Red's body wouldn't let me. I was stuck. I couldn't help my friend. Then I suddenly fell on my knees. I crawled to Pika and looked down at his corpse. It didn't pick up. I didn't pick it up. I didn't hold it in my arms. I didn't hug it like I wanted to. I was just kneeling there. I got back on my feet and walked away. When I woke up, I realized I was crying. And it was the only one pestering question inside my head. Why did I leave Pika there? Why didn't I take it with me like Blue did with Rattata? Why? I had many other nightmares from this night on, but I couldn't remember them as soon as I woke up. The only thing I knew is that Pika had shown up in those dreams. Every other memory of those dreams was just lost, somewhere inside my head, being damaged of the bad sleep lately. I got ill and decided to stay at home in bed one day. I tried to make up that loss of sleep, but my body and mind just wouldn't let me fall asleep the whole day. Sometime after midnight, when I finally got to sleep, I wish I didn't. I found myself all alone in a dark room. I walked around trying to find an exit, but I couldn't find anything. Even though I was walking and walking and walking, I couldn't even find a wall or anything else. It was like I was lost in eternal darkness. Wish you had someone with you now, don't you? A slight voice was calling out to me. I turned around, but of course I didn't see anything. Wish you hadn't abandoned me, don't you? The voice, that didn't even sound human to me, said from another direction. I turned around for a second, just to find myself staring into darkness again. I wanted you to be with you forever, it said. I became immortal just for you. It was so sweet, voice suddenly sounded angry. I want to be specific, right? Still turning around, didn't even wonder about the meaning of the word immortal in this case. Just looked in every possible direction and asked, where are you? Whoever was out there was just giggling. I'm dead, ain't I? The sweet voice answered after a few minutes of silence. I'm in heaven, right? Why can't I hear you then? Red's unfamiliar voice shouted. It was weird saying something with a voice that wasn't mine, and a body that wasn't me at all. Where are you? He shouted again. Where are you, Pika? Oh, so it was Pika. Why Pika? I heard a giggle from behind me. I revolved on the spot. In fact, it was Pika standing there in front of me, smiling. But its smile wasn't an unusual, cute smile. It was a blood-curdling. But Red smiled, the tears filling its eyes. I couldn't see clear anymore thanks to that. You came back to me, Pika. Pika tilted his head to the side, giving me an eerie grin. And that's when I realized Pika was looking exactly like it did when I had last seen it in my dreams, bruised with deep wounds on its body, its smooth skin dyed red from its own blood. No, it said with humility. You came to me. Now we can be together forever. Red's face frowned and turned his head in all possible directions. You mean? He asked, and I understood. Yes, Pika answered. You'll stay with me. I'm no longer logged in your PC, Red. He said, I'm dead, like you wanted me to be. But those are the rules, I shouted, when it was actually my own voice, not Red's. I had to. Rules? Pika hissed. His no longer his voice sounding sweet at all. You didn't have to. You said You said you loved me, and love knows no rules. You let your guard down, and you let Blue kill me. Pika didn't smile anymore. Looked sad, then angry, then furious, and I grinned again. But that doesn't matter anymore. It whispered, coming closer to me. No, stay away! Red's and my voice shouted at the same time. Didn't you love me? It was the last thing I heard Pika say before it jumped towards me, right in me. Then I woke up. I was lying in my bed in a dark room, and I was screaming. My body was trembling and sweaty, and it was hard for me to breathe. And it took a while for me to calm down, but as soon as I recovered from the previous dream shock, I grabbed my Game Boy and started the game. I was anxiously waiting for the mini screen to appear, since there was no other way for me to reassure that all of this had just been some freaking messed up dream. But after the usual intro with Pikachu surfing, flying, and running around, there wasn't any continue new game options. Selection, like there should have been. The screen showed me the menu screen from the PC. Withdraw Pokemon, deposit Pokemon, release Pokemon were the only options I was given. So I chose withdraw Pokemon. But the box was empty. Pika was gone. It was really gone. I was absolutely frightened and freaked out at this moment, so I hit the B button until the menu closed. But the screen showed me nothing. It was completely black, until suddenly Red's overworld sprite appeared, followed by a Pikachu. Then the game froze. I couldn't scream, even if I wanted to. The voice didn't react anymore. I was just sitting there in my bed in the dark, stared at my Game Boy. I really hoped it was just my imagination, or the eternal battery dying and making the game all glitchy. I really do hope so. I put the Game Boy on my bedside table and lied down in my bed again, staring into the darkness. Suddenly I heard a sweet laughter from somewhere. Didn't you love me? So yeah, that was Goodbye Pikachu. That was really awesome. I really loved the dialogue. I really loved the characters. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. This was actually the longest creepypasta reading I've ever done on this channel. I think. I don't remember. But, yeah. I really like this episode because, I finally get to talk and not just end up shedding in tears. Like, I was about to cry. Like, tears were literally about to come down my eyes. But then I was like, no, this is a creepypasta, not a field pasta. Well, sort of. Okay, anyways. See you guys in the next video. It's been 18 minutes or more. May try first be with you. I'll see you guys in the next video. I forgot to say that like in the last episode. So may try first be with you, and bye-bye.